I'm so grateful for another day to help stimulate the mental. Time to strategize, huddle up, where's your circle? I can feel the moment radiate through the convo. Talk is cheap, turn your faith into work. I drink my second cup and put my hands in the dirt. 2 cups, drinking straight drip from the earth. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. One for the wake up. One for the wake up. Two for the work. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. Welcome back to Two Cups Cafe, where I'm your host, Alan C. Jackson. Who I have coming through today for a high-quality caffeinated conversation is none other than my good friend, Jimel Jones. How you doing, Jimel?
Oh, fantastic. Great to be here.
Yes,
Everything's
sir.
lovely right now. Yes.
Oh, man, I'm just so honored, man, you would take some time out, come sit with me, man. I know you're a native from Toledo, but you've been all over the world. You done some extraordinary things. Let's start from the beginning, though, man. Tell me a little bit about your childhood.
Okay, childhood. Wow, that's a great question. So I was born in 1969, July 20th. That's the day the man walked on the moon.
Okay.
So from that point on, my first childhood home was on Klondike over there. I believe the house is still standing. I would love to purchase that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I just might try to think about that as we talk about that. But I would say my first conscious time is 4 years old. Grew up in the Northwood apartments.
Okay, you grew up in Northwood?
Yeah, which changed over the year, toward my late teen years, changed to Cherrywood. Now it's the
Yes, sir.
Greenbelt. But I lived there from 4 years old to 20
Okay.
when I got married and then moved to Germany.
Yeah. Because you had after high school, you had joined the military, right?
Well, actually, after high school, I took one semester off.
Okay.
And I started as a freshman in 1988. I graduated in 87.
Okay.
So I started January. And so I went to UT, majored in education,
Okay.
European history, want to be a history teacher. And and then in the middle of my junior year, I'm cramming for another exam as usual, because I worked 2 jobs at the same time. I worked at the courthouse, county courthouse on maintenance, and then worked at thermal engineering, which is the job that my high school, Toledo Macomber Whitney
That was your
Technical Vocational
vocation,
High
yeah.
School.
Okay.
Yeah, so they sent me over there. And then this guy in uniform said, "Hey, can you show me where the student union is?" And later, I know I'm a recruiter.
Okay.
He asked me, "How are you paying for school, young man?" I said, "Well, I work 2 jobs, blah, blah, blah."
Right.
And yeah. And so from that point on, he said, "Oh, you should take the ASVAB. You can go." And so he took me right on Sylvania Avenue. I think it's Marcos now.
Okay.
He used to be a recruiting office over there.
Yeah.
And I passed the test because I'm a college student. And so he said, yeah. I said, well, I'm only going to go if I can go to Germany. Here I am studying European. I want to see these places.
You want
I
to
wanna
see what you're studying about.
He said, "Oh, it's no problem." Next thing you know, I'm on a plane, basic training for Knox, Kentucky. So yeah, I was a junior in college.
Okay.
When I went to military, I was 20 years old.
So were you already married at the time?
I was married. I got married at 20.
Yeah.
So I would say 5 months before that.
Okay.
So I got married in August 26th of 89. And so 1990, January 10th, I'm off to Germany,
Yeah. So did your wife go over there with you?
She did after basic training.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. She came. So we actually had, we actually had our first wedding anniversary in Germany.
Wow.
Yes.
What part of Germany were you in?
I was in Gralstadt, which is in northern Germany, near the North Sea.
Okay. Yeah, because I know my wife. She was she graduated high school in '89, and then she wound up going to Germany, but she was at Darmstadt.
Darmstadt, yeah, I have been there.
Yep.
I've been there.
Yeah, she said it's since closed down now. But
Prior
that's
to
where
post,
she
yeah. It was back at that time. It was almost a military concern. We call them concern.
Okay.
In almost every other town in Germany, we want to keep an eye on them at that time. I mean, so that's how all that came to be. I later learned, yeah.
Yeah. So take me through just in fact, because I know you even into history now. But what was your mind-opening experience to history that I just like consuming this?
Well, man, so this kind of spins back to childhood a little bit. So I'm riding my bike, near 5 Points in Savannah.
Okay.
This has to be whenever before Roots came on, you know. And I was at that time, you know, young, you know, European men, white men. They, you know, skidded their car near their car tire to near mine
Okay.
on the curb, you know, and called me a F and N word.
Yeah.
I go home and said, "Mom, what's the F and N word?" I said,
Right,
well,
what's that about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I've heard basic N word, you know, I heard that one in the neighborhood, but this is exotic N word.
Right.
Like, wow. He said, "Oh boy, don't worry about that. Just focus on your education." This sort of talk, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, but you had heard that growing up, but my parents never gave me a slavery briefing.
Yeah.
All they told me is do good in school, do
Right.
good in school,
Work
make sure
hard, yeah.
work hard. But anyway, when Roots came out, I said, "Oh, that's what the big hubbub is all about." Okay, I'm like Bugs Bunny, like what's the hubbub?
Right,
Like what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's when they're like, okay,
I get it now.
And
okay.
so then I guess I got infatuated with studying European history and Europeans to see what is the psychology of the human beings that would do that to another group of human beings.
Okay. Okay.
Like, wow, that's deep, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
So that led you on just a quest for knowledge.
Yes.
And understanding.
Yes.
And so just walk me through. I mean, I know you had how long were you in the military?
I was in the military 4 years, 10 months, 11 days. People
Okay.
say, "Oh, you were keeping track." No, but it's like on your discharge papers. So whenever you need to use it for something, you see those numbers of how long I served. And the other opening eye about that, the earlier question that you asked, is at one point I had to pick up my wife Jackie from the Berlin train station. And we went earlier. I was on the post wrestling team.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a wrestler, you know. So we got to always do some little fun, extra stuff, you know, aside from duty, you know. And I had to memorize the course of when they dropped us off at the Bahnhof, which is the train station, to where we went to from the bus to our hotel that they had us in. So later on that night, she was supposed to come at like maybe 1:30 in the morning. And the trains there are phenomenal. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. That whole experience. Anyway, so I'm walking. I'm the only human being walking. It's dark in Berlin, Germany. And I happen to be walking over the surface where Mr. Hitler did the largest pledge in human history at that time to this cause that they had.
Right.
And I was it was like, wow, man, here I am from the Northwood Apartments. I'm on the Northwood
Cherrywood.
Yeah, and now I'm walking
Yes,
where
sir.
these folks did all this. I'm like, wow, man. So that was a powerful moment for me though, and yeah.
So when you decided to leave the military, I know because you know, we talked a little bit before. You was in the first the Iraq conflict. What they call it, Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Yes, and so I remember being out there in the field, and every now and then our chemical alerts would go off, and these were you know, set up things that we had out there that would detect you know, chemicals in there, and they would go, "Oh, it's a false line. I'll go false line." And then even before that, they had gave us some shots. I believe at that time they have never even given to humans before to help us if we got hit with anthrax.
Right, I remember anthrax.
Yeah. And so anyway, so when I finally did the tour and left Germany, I'm at Fort Knox, and I just, you know, I was the guide on, if anyone, military folks, a guide on is the man or the soldier that holds the company's colors.
Okay.
So, you know, so I was that person. And I went up 5 steps and I was so out of breath. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I lead the whole troop in running in the morning and physical training. I was like, okay. And did it again. So I finally had never been to sick bay ever in my whole career. That day I had to go. And did some tests and said that my heart and lungs had fluid around them called pericarditis.
Okay.
And then later on I started, you know, went the whole process. I had to go to Wright Patterson, was in the hospital a couple of days, and then, you know, at some point they told me that I had to be discharged from military. So I had a medical discharge.
Medical discharge.
Yeah, and they told me, hey, you're going to experience some problems with your major organs later in life. And they actually lasted from 94 to 2017.
Okay.
My numbers were elevated. Your kidney numbers, your creatinine numbers, I believe that it is.
Okay.
And he said, you need to start dialysis immediately, and so I had to go on dialysis. I had a little port on my shoulder, and then I have the, the track lines where they put the needles in you to, clean you every 3 days. And so, so that was part of the military, and it's really God, brother, because at that point I was an instructor at a place called RIP, which is the Ranger Initial Program.
Okay.
And they wanted, upon reflection, they wanted combat experienced people teaching these new lieutenants how to be war ready. So I was an instructor at that place, and so I got the wild idea in my mind I should be a Ranger and all that. Yeah, because
I'm out here now.
Yeah, I'm out here now. I'm teaching them what to do, how to be a Ranger. I'm gonna do it. So God was like, "No, you went to school to get money for school. Dude, you doing too much. You doing too much. Like, no.
Get that GI Bill. Get
all
up
right, get up, right. Get your thank you, sir. Yes, yeah, and you're not supposed to be doing all the extra stuff.
So did they say that your illness was as a result of the military?
It's service connected. Yeah, they call it service connected, and that's why they retire you.
Yeah.
You know?
So at that time, I mean, you was a young man. How did that? Because every time I see,
25. I was 25 when
every time I see you and your wife, y'all are some of the most pleasant, upbeat people, and nobody would know without talking to you all the challenges and things that you have gone through. Like, what do you attribute, your resiliency to in that regard?
Wow. I think it's this for me. I really, 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 really appreciate life and all the wonderful things that you get to do in life, man.
Yes, sir.
And so I just, never wanted to waste time. I want to do things that are value added, means adds value to your life and people around you by how you spend your time on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, and someone said this to me as a Army vet buddy of mine. I was with him yesterday at a different program that we're involved in, and he was like, if he dropped dead right now, he's had the most remarkable life, and I feel the same way, man. I got to do some stuff again. The Northwood Apartment. I'm all in shaking hands with royal soldiers and royal people, and Colin Powell walking by me a foot away.
Yeah.
And when we did a change of command ceremony out in Saudi Arabia, it's like, so bro, I have nothing to be upset about.
Right.
Nothing. I can try hard, but there's nothing that I can say that will just really, and I guess if I want to use the word upset, but it's not upset, the word I can't use the word, is I just want other people to experience all the good stuff life has to offer. Because oftentimes I observe people spending a lot of time on their challenges, but not necessarily the solutions to the challenges.
Yeah.
So that's about just being solution-based on things that we all do every day, If you get a flat, you know what to do. You got some steps, right? Call it AAA, roads, like that's what we do in life when you have that. But sometimes things aren't as cut clear. It's not clear cut. I should say, that you could, just call AAA with somehow. It's some dynamics with family, your body, all kind of different things that go on, external factors. So. Yeah, so that's it. So right now, that's what I'm trying to engage myself into, sharing with others ways that you could refreshen what you're doing, make things better, and come out. We had this series a little while ago. Time goes so fast. Remember, maybe last year, that the new year was we want to win.
Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah, winning. Yeah.
It's inspirational. Like, we should be winning. There's no reason why you shouldn't be winning,
Yeah, because I follow, like I say, you and your wife online, and I know, like, like you guys like to, cook. You like to enjoy concerts. You enjoy a good cup of coffee like
Yes,
myself. And
yes.
I just was like, one thing that you do though that's very interesting to me is like I know you like to write. Can you take me through like where that passion comes from and how's that
Yeah.
like is that therapeutic or is it entertainment? Is it just for education? What does your writing consist of?
All those factors that you just said.
Okay.
One is they're definitely therapeutic, because you know how when you read stories or hear about people that were involved with life, they're not here anymore, and people explaining what their thoughts would have been, and all, I don't want to. I want you to know what I was
Okay,
thinking. Like, I want you. So it's
okay.
going to be, as they say, it is written.
Okay.
It is
I got
written.
you.
Like what I wrote down is what I meant. And of course, educational. I'm a teacher. I teach American literature, English, and world history. So you constantly reading and writing with that,
Yes.
coming up with questions, lesson plans. So that's part of it too. And then the other one, the third one, which is probably even more fantastic, but I think they all are. But the entertainment factor,
Yeah.
Poetry and short stories. Oh man, some of the short stories I've read over the last, I would say 6 months, will just blow you away, man. Makes you think about stuff weeks later, like,
Yeah.
wow, that was cold blooded in that story, or you know, one of them started off that I read at Macomber with Miss Simone, God bless her wherever she is called The Catbird Seat.
The catbird.
Cat, that was, I believe it's by James Thurber. And, at that time, I couldn't tell you really what the story is about other than this person made a good position for themselves
Okay.
in the situation, that's what the catbird seat is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I reread it as a school teacher to give to my students, it's like, oh, that was cold blooded how he did that.
Yeah.
He put himself in a real good situation, which is like that term, the catbird seat.
seat.
And then the other one was Shirley Jackson, The Lottery. Did you ever read that?
I never read that.
Man, whoo! I get goosebumps thinking. So anyway, the lottery happens every year in this small town. Every year, lottery. The town men of the town, they organize it and they have the little box to put the names in every year, and it's like a ceremony. And it's beginning of the or it's like in the fall time, seems like, and they pick names. Everyone has to put the name in there, and then they read each name, 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 as they put the names in the box. And then once they pull the name out the box, something happens, and it's not good. But I'll let people read. I don't want to get spoiled. Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, just and the person who's chosen, debates on this particular instance, and they have been doing this for years. And other townspeople, before they do it, say, that town over there, they stopped doing the lottery. So apparently this was going on in a lot of those small towns, this lottery aspect of lottery. But anyway, this person who was chosen debated about, oh, you didn't count that right, or you should have did it this way and that way and that way, and even put their children to be the lottery winner, you know what I'm saying, instead of themselves.
Okay.
And it was it came back. It's you this year, Yeah, it's almost like a Stephen King kind of situation. You know what I mean? Very interesting. But Shirley Jackson. So, in fact, at one school I was at, I was afraid to, tell them the story, or and so that's where kind of, not really, seriously, is where my book club started to fester, to want to do the book club. because there was a lot of stories I wanted to do with my students at Grove Parish, but I would have needed permission slip and all type of
You
stuff.
know I was gonna go over.
I said, yeah. So I said, you know what? I'll just read the books that they have in the cabinet, which obviously have been approved. I got multiple copies of it, so it was meant that every kid would have a book, and we're gonna read it together. So yeah, and which turned out great. I honestly, but anyway, once school is over with, I say, I want to carry this reading thing forward, because this is another way that I believe, and I said this to the young people I spoke with yesterday with the Detroit Writing Room and coaching Detroit Forward. I know I'm spinning this, but it explains it. So every year there's sessions of Metro Detroit students learning to be photojournalists and professional photographers. So they do like product photography, like for catalogs, still life, architectural, wildlife over the course, and then at the end we always meet for a nice luncheon to share what they came up with and everything. And then there's a magazine published called Perspectives, and that's published every year. And so, anyways, a benefactor purchased one of the books of my book club to give to each student. And the tour guide and the CEO of everyone gets a. You get a book. You get a book.
Yeah, for sure.
And also Sip Coffee Shop gave some nice pencils that Sip Coffee to give to each person at the place. But anyway, I said, listen, if you read this book, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I said, there's no way you can fail. Come on, if you read this book, it is impossible to fail.
Yes, sir.
So the same thing with books. So I said to Dr. Calvin Sweeney at the church picnic, it was another one of my books was Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington.
Okay.
And I said to him, every person if you read that book in our community, it's no way possible that you could get in the car and shoot some people. There's no way. If you read that book, there's no way you could do that. So I think reading to me is that powerful that it really can change minds to be productive and do what the good Lord set us to do.
Yes, sir.
Because we all have a place. We need everyone.
Yeah.
We do every profession. I know you remember this because you a tech man. Remember when the power went out?
Yeah.
And power, everything. We're not looking for no basketball player right now. You feel me? We need an electrical engineer, to fix this. Yeah, so everyone has a place.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And or when the pipe bursts or any of those items, we need everyone. So no one should be, in their garage thinking of something. Hey, you got a mission to do to help this build the world, build the nation, man. So what we're doing there,
Yeah, no. So I know you spend a lot of time like reflecting and thinking and reading and writing, and I know you spend a lot of time in Detroit. Like, what is it about? We only 45 minutes away from Detroit here in Ohio. So, what is it about Detroit that attracted you? I've been there several times recently, and I know the city has really have remarkable renaissance going on, and it just feels good. But just walk me through how long you've been going up there, and then what's the feel for you?
Again, back to that tabernacle. Whatever year it was, I'm gonna tell you right now what year it was. Okay, because the COVID happened, so it must have been 2019.
Okay.
That as the church we were supposed to give up something. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
They would give it. Okay, I'm gonna give up cake. I'm gonna give it no more ice cold Coca-Cola. Oh Lord, all this different thing. So I said, you know what I'm gonna give up? I'm gonna give up procrastination. I've been saying I want to write, and do this. I said, you know what? So I started looking for a collective workspace.
Okay.
I'm looking. Some of the places was for all women. Some was for only engineers. someone, but this one, it said the Detroit Writing Room.
Yeah.
Listed what was going on there, and you had your own office space, and which again, this is coming. It's all full circle, really. So I click on to read through it. The CEO, Stephanie Steinberg, she created this, and her husband, he was in the National Press Corps or something like this, and so she had been the editor of the University of Michigan newspaper. I'm sure that would amuse you,
Right.
U of M. That's big time, Yeah. So anyway, so she said she was doing all these stories about young professionals coming back to Detroit to start a business, to be an entrepreneur. So she's like, wow. And so after she did so many, she said, no, maybe I should do something. And so she came with this aspect of the writing room. And so as I clicked around, that's what I saw.
Okay.
And she had the area made out like a I'm saying a Manhattan apartment.
Right.
But it's Detroit. But I'm saying when you stepped in the foot in that place, it was so dynamic. Oh man. And I guess apparently her mother-in-law, her husband's mother, she had a cachet of Detroit memorabilia.
Okay.
It was decorated inside there like a huge photo in black and white. It was big, man, on the main wall of like an overhead shot of Detroit to see. Oh, it was beautiful, man. And nice furniture. So I was sitting in my favorite charcoal gray, sofa, and it's got this over there, and I'm writing on my laptop, and she had coffee in there that you could drink in the bottomless cup from, it was called, anyways, it was a coffee shop, and we ended up doing a virtual tasting with that place and 3 other coffee shops, because COVID had happened the following year. But anyway, we all purchased the bags of coffee, and we all were to brew them at home, and we all at the same time this is whatever, but it's all on Zoom.
Okay,
So that was so bright of her to keep this going, because something like that, because you could come into the space and write.
Right.
So after a while, she would have shows, and then when I say shows, like there was some winemakers that came, some beer, people that made beer, cost coffee, cupcakes.
Yeah.
She had a nice boutique wedding in there.
Okay.
It was decked out really nice. She had professional headshots. It was just creative energy that was just powerful, And so that's how.
Yeah, so she was really curating a space and then developing like a artistic entrepreneur community.
Right. And you could take coaching class if you want to.
Yeah.
I took a class on how to write your novel. It's one on how to make your Instagram pop. Now, these professionals that's teaching the classes, someone worked for the New York Times, someone worked for, and they're also, I give a shout out to, there also is a New York writing room. Same CEO,
Okay.
New York writing rooms. They do the same thing over there, which is, I need to get over there, honestly. Sister organization, and then out of that was born Coaching Detroit Forward. So anyway, while I'm going up there, I'm going to restaurants, I'm meeting people, and I'm Coach Jones over there too, because I go to these places, and of course, for me, I love watching travel shows.
Okay.
Anthony Bourdain, man.
Yeah.
Andrew Zimmerman, and all those folks. Like they're letting you do it vicariously. Yeah. So that's why I like to share, because I know when I was on dialysis, sitting there, can't move. It was the first time in my whole life I had to sit still for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So a lot of different learning was taking place. So I'm imagining that, hey, if I was in that situation, I would love to hear, clip of Shaka Khan concert or something.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I want to hear. I want to, or see someone sampling coffee or whatever, because that's what I enjoy watching. I love and we had a little laugh about this in in the jungle at the church. You know, the little room is the Epicurean aspects of life.
The Epicurean.
And the food, music, art, the whole everything that gives you that sensory, sensory, pleasures. Yeah.
And as men, man, I feel like when we come up from little, a lot of times we put that stuff to the side because we think about, work, family, grit. But then, like you said, those other facets of life really what make you more of a comprehensive person. You know what I mean?
Oh, the other aspect of that is I work to do those things.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy myself too.
Yeah, as soon as I, what the old saying, work hard, play hard.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, all the times in my life that I had some static with my family, and they'll tell you, they listen to sin one day, is when I work too much. I mean, because I could, I'm one of them rare humans, man, that sleeps maybe 4 hours a day, man. And I get it in hard, but the other 20, poof, I'm
You're
up.
on the go, huh?
Yeah, so I'm always driving towards something, but sometimes that goes too far too.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. Like
So you gotta reel it back a little bit.
Every time the Lord tapped me on the shoulder, hey, watch it, slow down a little bit,
So I'm gonna ask you this, like about your writing. Are you you old school pen and pad, or do you enjoy more of a laptop feel?
It's sad in some ways. Like I would rather write, because when you're writing with a pen and pencil on the paper, the actual strokes are some kind of way that gives emotion and other sort of things. But on the flip side of that, you can't share it as easily. But I guess you could, because I guess I could write and take a photo of the writing to put it up there. But I'm saying, like for a book or something, it has to be.
So you got to digitize it.
Yeah, digitize it. Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm sure like now they have those programs that takes the picture of that and be able to transcribe it into.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do mine though.
No.
My handwriting.
Really.
Like, I don't know what you got going on.
and then too, honestly, if you saw, my hands have become deformed from all the stuff I've been through. The tendons at one point like ripped off the knuckles, and they've tried to rein them in, and I had surgery on the left one, and there's some aluminum bars in there to straighten them out some kind of way, but yeah. But I could still use them, but some things like the fine motor skills and, a lot of that, again, was in the military, being an armor, it means the gentleman that messing with the weapons must have taken apart every weapon the Army had up until that point.
Okay.
Man, so many times, like I have dog years, so even though I would love to write, probably the more productive thing is go ahead and type it as I'm thinking of it, but.
Do you ever do the audio transcription, or you still like that?
I haven't done that.
Yeah.
I must admit I have not done that. Now, I've made recordings.
Okay.
Now, I do have a lot of voice recordings.
Okay.
I'm sure maybe that could be something at one point. But yeah, and that's another thing, like, from 50 to 55 have been the most dynamic 5 years in my entire life. I've never done the things that I've done, ever in my life. And I would say had some exciting 20-year-old and 30-year-old, but the 50 to 55, I just turned 56. If it was anything like those 5 years, the next 5 going to be even. And so that's the point into where, you make decisions of how you're going to spend your time.
Yes, sir.
But certainly, and back to the Detroit question, I ended up loving it so much that I got an apartment there, had an Airbnb there. Yeah. Like, so, again, you get to go to every nice soul food restaurant you want to go to, every seafood, whatever. Like, it's just beautiful. And honestly, the spirit of the people.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. They really are like, and I just can't. Like that's where I want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly,
For sure.
that's where I want to be most of the times when I'm having leisure time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, just like I know, like you've been a sports coach, you've been a photographer. I mean, it's just so many things. I think we could probably have a segment on each thing that each hat that you done worn over the last, like you say, 56 years, man. And so just, this is 2 cups. I say 2 cups. I call myself 2 cups, one for the wake, one for the work. So the wake is like every time I get up, I just kind of like, what's motivating you, what's inspiring you, what's giving you that push, and then the second cup is the work. Like, what steps are you taking, to walk that out? So, so I would just like to,
Fantastic.
think about like you and the things that you're doing. Like, what's your wake and your work moment going on now?
Wow. Oh man, fantastic question. Well, my wake is the books.
Okay.
Right now, the books. Also, and this always back to the tabernacle.
Okay.
It's when you dream and it's for real, you're gonna do all that, but this is in my guts right now. Lord, I would like to get at least like an Airbnb like every year for the next 5 years, to where when I'm 60, I'll be like a guy that has these Airbnbs for folks to come enjoy to see. That's what I want to do. Just share the city.
Just share it.
If you come and see that and so, and so promoting Detroit is certainly is a wake, something that I do.
Something in your spirit.
And I do, and the reason why I do, same thing. I want other people to. If you spend a week in Detroit, like I might need probably do a Coach Jones tour.
For sure.
You will be electrified, man. You kidding me? The places I go, the things I do, the people I'm interacting with.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that being that I got the party in Berlin and Frankfurt and places that you like, ooh, in Denmark, and I'm comparing that to what I experienced when I'm in Detroit, and you getting the best coffee.
Yes, sir.
That I've tasted in and I got to taste some Turkish coffee with the French press was out in Germany. So I'm that's what human beings do. They compare, and I'm like, wow, they got the best. The best potato chips, better made in Detroit.
Better made, better made.
Man, I'm like, and I'm trying to pull away, but soda, but of course Verner's. It's just
a lot of people don't know about Verner's,
Verner's, Fago. I know they know about Fago.
Yeah, they know about that Fago.
And I mean just the theater space.
Yeah.
They have the symphony that we've gotten to enjoy a couple of times. Cliff Bell's Jazz Club, phenomenal. The whole Parker's Alley, which was like a free black who owned that space there.
Okay.
And after the fire, he had it for a while. Then he sold it for what would have been a nice piece of change then.
Okay.
But if he had kept it, man, that thing probably worth $1 billion. Easy. That little alley near where the Gucci store is, and the Shinola Hotel, Shinola Watch Company, Warby Parker. All the Epicurean things that people love.
Epicurean.
Yeah. And he's an interesting fellow, Epicurean. He does not. People have a thought that it's really not the thought. I won't spoil it. If you read up on, you say, "Wow, I know. I only thought this of him." We have that other dark side.
Right.
But no. But just that. So again, seeing the extremes of life, seeing someone who has been taken away from war, looking down at their body and saying, wow, going to that to some of the most beautiful music on the Detroit River.
Yeah.
You know, like those are extremes that they can be measured for me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know what that felt like. I know what this
Yes,
over
sir.
here feels like. So, you know, yeah. So if we're living our lives, man, it should be good.
Yes, sir.
Because God is good.
Yes, He is.
God
Man.
is
God
love.
Is love. Yeah.
And so, like, and that's all it is. That's basically what it is. Going to Belle Island,
Mm-hmm.
the largest island park in America.
Yeah.
There's so many things about Detroit that's compelling. Man, like Frederick Douglass would give a speech to the people who made the last leg of the Underground Railroad before they're going to cross that river and
Into
go over to Canada
Yeah.
to truly be free, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like, it's just Motown. I went to Motown Museum, but I must admit, I've never been inside because when it came to me start going, it was always closed because
Okay.
of COVID.
Okay.
So, but I do have pictures in front of
Yeah.
the building, and it's next to a funeral home. No one would ever guess that.
Right.
Literally, I mean, Motown building is there. If you stand in front of it, to your direct right of you is a nice funeral home right there. Like, but the energy that just emits from this place when you drive up again is because you know who was in there doing what they were doing. Those type of things are just powerful. You know, Joe Louis Soul Food.
Yeah, I've been there to sell the kitchen. Matter of fact, you told me about that place
Man,
where they got it set with the front
your
porch
little
in
porch.
there.
Yeah, it's just, man, listen, campus marches over there. Has the Union, basically freedom monument to freedom, you know, and you know these books again that I'm talking about. Booker T. Washington, he's recounting a story that I was always curious about as a child. And the question was, how did black people feel when they first found out they were free? Think about that, man. Like, and so he recounts this as a boy. He says earlier in the day, the singing was more, you know, vibrant, you know. And then he said a little while later, he saw a man on a horse, which he now knows was a federal soldier, reading the Emancipation Proclamation to the people at the big house. And then the person would come down and let the people in the slave row know. And he said his mother, you know, dropped down her knees and said, "Oh, thank God. I've been praying for this moment my entire life, my kids, and freedom, and all this stuff." And he said, but later in the day, a feeling of doom came over them because where are we going to go? What we going to do? What we going to eat?
Gonna do now?
What we going to wear? And he recounts one of the worst experiences of human existence was being forced to wear this shirt that's real itchy and like almost wearing like a porcupine on your skin. Oh man. Again, man, if you read that book, there's no way you could do a drive-by. There's no way you could kill your brother, man.
Yeah.
We've been through so much as a people.
Yes, sir.
And just his recounts that he just wanted to read so bad. His mom gave him a book of alphabet, you know, and cause she couldn't read, but she knew he wanted to so bad. And he said finally this Negro, whatever they called it at that time, you know, from Ohio, oddly enough, came and he could read. And he said, "Oh, I was jealous of that man." He said, but anyway, he would be in the town square reading the paper.
Okay.
And they would all gather around to hear the papers, the news. It was just a powerful thing. And of course, we know there used to be a law against reading and writing for African Americans. And so, again, man, like the reading for me, that's my wake, definitely. It definitely is. Like, that's what I'm really focused on. Because, again, I want other people to know this information so they can make their decision for themselves. But certainly, I would love for people to get the information so then they can really see what type of things they could do that would, give a harvest for themselves and their families without the risk of being imprisoned and this
for
sort of
sure.
thing. Like we was already slaves. Why would we want to do something that's going to imprison us? No, so many things to do in this great nation right now, brother. Even with all that adversity, I wear this hat, because it's Team USA, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we watch Olympics, who we rooting for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, despite all the political stuff, we talking about people that go to work every day.
Yes,
People
sir.
that get the power back on, people that plug up a pipe, people that when the pipe bursts in the middle of the city, somebody has to go do it. Making sure the water is pure. Everyone has a focus, man. Make sure our parks are great, that everything is funded for the elderly and people that,
Yeah, we're
And
supposed
so-
to be on the same
Yes,
team when it comes to all that.
Yes. And so, and back to this whole aspect of freedom also, I know you heard this before because you be on earth as close as I have. It's, this the white man country. So, no, man, like we fought harder. This is our country. We're free to do it. And we see every day that I look around, African Americans are thriving.
Yes, sir.
Don't let no one fool you, man. Hell no. We're
doing all right.
Oh, we're doing all right, brother. And Jesse Jackson, man. Every time I see him, there's a younger figure, just give him a kiss on the cheek. What an inspirational fellow, And when the people say, "Oh, I wish the good old days," he said, "I don't hear nothing about the good old days. The only thing I always they good and gone." Because he experienced what he experienced growing up where he grew up, and all that. Like, I don't hear nothing about no good old days. The good old days were terrible for some of us in some ways.
In some ways,
But I mean, because you stayed on the fight all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So of course, this man, he goes to college, gets a degree. Jesse. But of course, he lived in, I think, North Carolina.
Okay.
Something places where at one point you walk down the sidewalk, if a Caucasian man came, you had to get off and move. So like we've changed so much from that, and now people. The same word that them young folks call me, then they get in trouble.
Yeah.
They say it to us, or any inappropriate thing that humans do, but we should not be doing them.
Yes, sir.
Really, everyone has plenty of time. Again, another wise man, Al, you're a wise man, younger than myself, but this other gentleman, Olu, Iodeji. He was a reading teacher at the Academy of Business and Technology Community School.
Okay.
And he said something that I had never heard up until that time, until he pointed it out.
Okay.
Clearly. He said, hey, everyone gets 24 hours in a day. He said that the health people say you should get 8 hours of sleep. He said you should be doing some sort of vocation, working for 8 hours. He said, now you got 8 hours left.
Got 8 hours left.
You've gotten all your rest. He had a little proper way of speaking, he said. And he said, and you've put your work in for the day. He said, now you got 8 hours. He says, like, what are you gonna do with that? He said you can put 2 more hours of sleep, 2 more hours of work, or you can do 4 hours of learning how to build birdhouses. He just is naming all the things that you could do at that time. And I was like, wow, man. And honestly, from that moment, I probably began to be even more productive. As if he didn't need to tell me that. Like, man, like I'm already type A time to the second power. Like, tell me something like this.
Yeah.
But you really put it in perspective, though.
For sure.
How much production human beings can actually do.
Yeah.
And,
It's amazing when you say that, because a lot of times it's just like you say, your perspective. Because I remember when I used to work at a manufacturing plant, automobile factory. So however many hours we work, you were just always looking forward to not working. You know what I'm saying? So when you get off work, you're like, I'm off work. I'm not working. So whatever that entailed, like it wasn't until later where I had that thought, like, if I want to get something different, I got to do something in the hours where I'm not working besides just saying I'm not working. So that changed my perspective on that.
Yes. That's fascinating. Well, because I always say this. If you don't have a job, your job
To get
is
a job.
finding a job.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
you
sir.
work 8 hours finding a job, brother. You take a lunch, go somewhere, get your
Right,
sandwich,
right,
you get
right.
back to them classified ads and Indeed and
Yeah, LinkedIn and all
LinkedIn.
that
Yes.
stuff.
There's no
Yeah.
way you'll find a job because we need things. We need people to do things, man. I keep
Yeah.
beating. That's gonna be my horse.
That's
And
what
it's-
you're gonna
Yes,
do,
is
yeah.
that we need to build a nation. No time for it's foolishness. There's no time for that stuff,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I mean, you have a lot of time. You can be doing some productive stuff. And I don't understand that being selfish, so to speak.
Right.
Is I've had all these body parts being fixed on. I'm so glad those young folks decided to go spend their time at medical school. Dr. Obi Quinna, who did my kidney transplant, he was like, he's renowned for, sourcing his own organs and
Yeah.
putting, hooking the capillary. I'm thinking how much time this guy spent learning how to do that. Thank God he did, brother. He saved my life.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And I
sir.
mean, so like, there's no reason to not do well
Yeah.
in our society right now. There's
And
no reason not to.
and when I see you, like, it's like you have all these passions. It's like, you didn't take what was supposed to be a disability, and just be like, well, I'm done, at 25, or I'm done at 30, but you still took like your love for life and figured it out. You know what I mean? That's what I admire about you and your wife too. Like, y'all figured it out. Like, I see you cooking. I never seen you make an excuse since I know you. I mean, we talk, we don't have like super deep conversations, but every time I talk to you, I always leave like more built up than when we start the conversation. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole purpose, man, to build everything up. All these statements. I'm a political science major. Okay, that's my major, political science, and that came about from being in the war.
Okay.
I said to myself, I'm trying to be a school teacher. Okay. Okay, and it took me 10 years to get my degree, by the way. So any of those people that think, oh, no.
Then too late,
Keep working. They all add up at one point. But anyway, so I just lost my train of thought. Cue me into what I was just speaking about.
No, we talking about your political science.
Oh, yeah. But so I said, a signature landed me on the battlefield, literally, political decision. And that's called, I know now, the end of diplomacy, when you have to go to war.
The end of diplomacy.
The end of diplomacy, man. And so politics is a first cousin to history, because history was yesterday.
Yes.
So I used to tell my son this all the time. He sees it now. I said, son, just because something happened a long time ago, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he sees it now as a kid where things got torn down that used to be there, that's not there anymore. Because he remembers as a kid going to Westgate, going to Thackeray's, store. Now
Lion stores over there.
Yeah, at one point it was Lane's, he wasn't there for Lane's, but I mean, But I think I think it had been buried by then, just the whole corner. And then next to there, I think was Thackeray's, and then that little independent record store and Fanny Farmer with the fudge.
And had the smoke shop in
there. Yes, Port Royale. Yeah, we played chess in there.
Got my first Kango in there.
Oh, see what I mean? Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah. But now you could tell a story. But now a person today, they wouldn't know that was there. All they see is Costco.
Yeah. But that don't mean it didn't exist.
Right, that don't mean it didn't exist,
Yes,
Yeah, but anyways, so whether your roads will be paved is a political decision. The books your kids read in school is a political decision. Whether they want to pay 50% for your surgical procedure is a political decision.
Okay.
So politics is in everything. It really is.
Wow.
And, so some of the things that I did learn there at political science school was the family is the first political unit. because whoever it is, the president and the Congress and everything is mom and the dad or whoever, how your family is constructed. And so we know that when you have a good political system, there's usually nice, good, productive fruit from that initial political, unit, family unit. You know what I'm saying? And then of course it goes to neighborhood, then then town, and it just keeps going bigger. But again, it's all, politics is in everything, and so it's important. But I've tried to push away from just that the bigger political. To me, and Tip O'Neill, I believe, Speaker of the House, he said that politics is local.
Okay.
And we need to worry about what we got going right around here. We can't.
I'm learning that more and more too. Just trying to focus on the small things that we can affect change for.
Yes.
And then like let it bloom out like a flower instead of just feeling like you throwing stones at an airplane. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's fruitless.
Yeah.
It's fruitless. I mean, again, and I say that with the best intentions, meaning this: if you feel you want to go further, then run for office.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But whatever unit or whatever level you're involved with, community center, helping with that, your churches, your sports teams, local sports teams, which any sport parent knows your life is directed around the Whittier Jets or or whatever team or the
AAU teams or
travel
like
teams.
That,
Yes, I mean,
and those, like you said, those have politics too.
Absolutely. Is it not?
Yes,
sometimes, often, and I'm going to go to a higher level because we don't want to bring nobody up around here. But like even sometimes a player in the NBA or NFL is getting paid way more, but the guy who's doing it is, and my wife said, "You put him." I said, "Well, he getting the contract.
Yeah, you can't get that money. You gotta pay the guy you paid.
Yeah,
pay the guy you paid.
It's crazy, but you know what I mean. So that's just everything has politics, and so man. So, and the whole mission of boldly loving the community that is being fostered. At the tab is it is remarkable.
Yeah,
it really is.
Doc Sweeney say, "You want to do bold acts of love, not random acts of kindness."
Yes. Oh, wow.
Want to do strategical.
Never thought about the way it's a whole system of love instead of almost spot check you here, like you plugging up holes and another one over them instead of having a whole thing to just get the whole thing together. Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Oh,
yeah, man. Once again, man, appreciate this time, man, and just that picture you painted about, Detroit and just your reading and your background, man. I wouldn't mind going on a day curated by Coach Jones in the motor.
Anytime. Oh, see, that's another idea. Literally.
Yes, sir.
But you know what? As much as I promote Detroit, I'm Toledo built.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm Toledo built, and I love my city, obviously, but that exciting cousin, when you go with them, you got all kind of fun, but sometimes you do get back home and just take a deep breath, but sometimes you gotta hang out with that cousin.
Yeah, I appreciate the way, our city, like the downtown is being revitalized and a lot of the older buildings being repurposed, the warehouse district, and we got a lot of entrepreneurs, popping up, and then our metro parks are really, focused in our what they call down there by the docks, the Port Authority. They've been doing some amazing things, and beautiful murals are going up and everything.
Yes,
so
yes.
Definitely, definitely some good things going on.
And I'm not sure. I would love for someone to tell us what the name of the ostrich town, like how that came about. I used to deliver papers over there, and I never heard that word.
Ostrich town? Yeah, me either. I didn't either.
Just something. Well, anyway, but I mean, they're doing some great things over there as well.
It's a nice space down there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, we our city seems like we have gems. Clearly, I can point them out, just like you just did a short while ago. You know, I'm not sure if they're connected in the way that it could be better.
Okay.
You know, but you know what though, when people say that, look, I never get bored until I run out of things to do until Toledo have you running around. And you know what's great about it? You can enjoy them all because it's easy to get around.
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you
Yes,
get
sir.
anywhere. So there's some great things about our city, of course, you know, yeah. But yeah, you'll go to this event. I'm going to go over here. Sometimes you see the same person at the same events.
You got to run around.
Yes,
Yep.
stuff at the museum, stuff at the zoo, stuff happening in any of the communities, a festival here or there. I mean, so yeah, like the same thing though. This whole thing. People love to eat. This the music. It's a universal thing, you
Yes,
know. Yes, but we know that the highest performers of that they're in Detroit. So you have to come to Detroit.
Yeah.
If you say you're a musician,
Yeah,
you got to let the people in Detroit hear you. And of course, I see Toledo ones at the events all the time as well.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely,
Because the way that we, travel around, if this was, say, Atlanta, then you would take an hour maybe if you live in somewhere to try to get to what's going on. And so 45-minute drive,
right.
it's nothing. You know,
sometimes you accomplish 3 events in one day. I've done it, man. Literally, I've done it. A lot of times, you know, I'm like, in the day, you got to take your shoes off, let your feet move around. I mean, 'cause, seriously. So,
No,
yeah.
right.
But it's just like a different type of time spending. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. And the architecture down there. I can go on and on in Detroit, man. It just has you looking around like, wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I also in downtown too. They're trying to hang on to some of those old buildings in the core where Spencer was, Spencer Arcade, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, over there. They're trying to get some of those back, but that would have to happen for the downtown to truly get revitalized, and the whole parking situation also.
Yeah, parking
really disturbed me. Donna Owens, which I talked to her enough to hear about it, is so my whole high school through college, it was free parking, 11:30 to 1 downtown. And she said she saw an older lady struggling, really rushing and stressing, trying to put money in me. She said, I'm going to make this in her mind. I'm gonna try to make parking be free from 11:30 to 1.
That lunchtime,
Yes, because people don't want to risk getting a ticket trying to have lunch. So those businesses down there suffer. Like, why would you do that to them? Because a lot of times people, they avoid going downtown. 'Cause, so a few places have their own space.
Right.
Like a Rust Belt, has their own parking area. But the other places, mostly, you got to park on it, and once it's full, that's it.
That's it, yeah.
But, I mean, it's first come, first serve, obviously. But to me, that's the way it should be. Yeah, I think. Again, here I'm talking politics. So it's local. But that's what I said, local.
Gotcha.
And so, like, you go to Perrysburg, enjoy yourself. There's no meter to put in there. It's open, get it. And they got some parking behind most businesses over there.
Yeah.
So it's, again, so for Toledo to really, now, if the Mud Hens was in town every day, we'll be okay.
Right.
If the Walleye was in town every day, we'll be okay. But other than that, when they're not, having a thing, it's hard to attract people down there for the businesses. Some great businesses down there, though. Oh, man. They really are. Just sometimes sad to see 1 or 2 people in them. Those businesses in Detroit, it's a crowd, the same type of businesses, literally, we have a crowd. Oh, man, you go to Canal, and you got to say, excuse me and stuff. Oh, listen to that. I mean, it's people coming in there, left over. And again, I can't compare Canal with what we got here, but it certainly is some places here that's on that level that
for sure.
if it was in another location, it would be packed.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
I know we got the Jeep Fest coming up this weekend.
See, again, if we have Jeep Fest every day, we're good. Can we put that on the calendar? Like, Jeep Fest every day. I mean, and then downtown will be packed.
Sir.
People sell food. That's what unique crowd. Unique crowd. As a kid, I went. Did you ever go to the circus at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Barnum Belly. He's like, oh, but I guess his promotion. He said once. if you don't promote it, you know what's going to happen?
What's that?
Nothing. So he would go weeks and months ahead of time with a small town. Circus come, elephant, circus come, circus. Man, by the time the circus actually came,
So they was
everybody in the whole town was at the circus.
Yes, sir.
He let them know this was gonna go down. I got the, the shortest man, tallest man, whatever stuff he had, stuff in the jar. And I remember just going these kind of things. I mean, yes, and so that's basically what life is about, like promoting
the good things.
Promoting good things. But most importantly, we love to josh about social media, but sharing things.
Yeah.
Share. Like, I know people are secretive about their recipes stuff, but Martha Stewart makes millions of dollars sharing recipes. You kidding me? No, she's not hiding anything here. Now, you still not Martha Stewart.
I think sometimes.
But these are the ingredients that you could,
I think sometimes for me, like with the social media, I think sometimes you get like, I don't want to say survivor's remorse, but you like, am I boasting? You know what I mean? Or am I doing too much? Because I know other brothers and sisters may be, at a different time in their life or a different space, You
know what? That is a very, very valid. But see, again, it goes back to perspective. See, for me, it's sharing.
Yeah.
Because someone might love to do that thing. Maybe they can't because they may be, wheelchair bound where they can't really do that thing. Or they may have someone else, because I've been in that situation.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at, because I've been on my deathbed. I might be part cat, man.
He said many lives.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate life, and I know, again, I want to, someone to share. Like, again, I'm back to that birdhouse. How to build a birdhouse. I'm looking at the bill. Wow, it's pretty cool. See, for me, again, it's the positive.
Yeah. Because
God is love. God is, love, man. If you're doing that from the perspective of love, it's not that, From my perspective, is that when you share things, because oftentimes people, especially like cooking, that's one. Oh, please, you should have a cooking show.
Yeah, I like your.
See, that's
like
what I'm saying.
Food, yeah, sure.
This is like because we all have to eat. It's a universal. We all have to eat, and by the looks of my tummy. I mean, listen, we all enjoy eating, and there's a time when I couldn't eat well because I didn't know it was my kidneys failing. But sometimes I remember one day in particular that I had one bite of a sandwich for the entire day, and just my energy was so low. So now that I can eat, man,
so you're gonna enjoy it,
man. Catfish, from Joe Louis and all these different places. Oh man, it's like, again, if it's out of the perspective of love, the love of life.
Yes, sir.
Literally, and so. Yeah.
That's definitely a blessing, man. Like I said, man, just appreciate you coming to sit down, man, spend this time, man. Prayerfully, man, somebody watch this or listen to this and just get inspired, like you said, just to live life more to the fullest. I mean, because you've been through, at any time you could have gave up, when your body started failing, you could have gave up. When you hit different roadblocks, and I mean, I know as being a school teacher, when you don't make the impact sometimes you want to make, you could have gave up. As studying politics and science and things, if you see things going on in the nation or the state, you could have just threw up your hands. But you just continue to be resilient, man, and you continue to have that can do and that hope attitude, man. And that's like what I really want my listeners, my viewers to capture, man. That as long as you don't quit, you're gonna win, man.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely.
Thank you so any much. Closing words you want before we get out of here?
Any passion that you have that the Lord put in your mind, go for it.
Yeah.
Go through the steps. I mean, it would be different if it was locked in the secret box. But we know the steps to become an architect.
Yeah.
You can go look them up. What do you need to be an architect, and do this, and graduate school, and this, and internship. Yeah, you can be architect. So anything that now we know that that's not easy,
Right.
but nothing that's worth having is easy.
Yes, sir.
If you have it, it was easy, it probably wasn't worth it.
Yes, sir.
Literally, I mean, it's some work. Whenever you think that everybody, all the hoopers and the sneaker wearers, to think Michael Jordan got cut from a team, any team,
Any team. Yes,
any
sir.
team. I don't care. Well, it was on J, whatever. That made him a wild man for basketball. Like, I'm gonna show you.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna show you. You're not gonna tell me I'm not good enough. That's it, right there. Like, just persevere, pursue, and it's not gonna happen overnight, folks.
Yes,
It took
sir.
him 2,000 years to build Rome. A long time. Yeah. So, and hey, that's it.
Okay.
And listen, it's all in God's name.
Yes,
It's for
sir.
the glory of God.
Yes, sir.
And literally. And another thing that I learned at the tabernacle that I hadn't looked at or heard of before is your work is your worship. Do well what you're doing.
Yeah.
I say, if I'm a ditch digger, I want to be the best. I mean, that dude's the best. When I need a ditch dug, I want him to do
Call
it.
him.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
just put your all in things. That's all, man.
Oh, man, I
God
love
bless.
that, man. I love that. So this has been a Two Cups Cafe, one for the wake, one for the work. We definitely been having some things to be inspired by. We definitely have some things to work on. And I just want to thank again Coach Jimel Jones for coming through. And, like, subscribe, invite a friend if you have some different guests you would like to see me interview. They don't have to be from Toledo. Somebody thinks it's interesting that wouldn't mind, sharing their life story, their testimony. Just hit me up. Once again, this is your host, Alan C. Jackson, a.k.a. Two Cups. God bless.